Welcome to section 2 of chapter 1, which is all about observational studies versus design experiments. In this lesson, you should be able to distinguish between an observational study and a design experiment, identify possible lurking variables, explain the various types of observational studies. So, first, let's talk about observational studies and design experiments. Observational studies is just observing. The most common example here is a survey. If you're doing a survey, you are not doing anything to the people. You're just waiting for their response. Or how are they going to respond to your survey? You're not attempting to influence the value of the response. Design experiment, on the other hand, you apply some treatment or you intentionally changes the values of an exploratory variable and record the effect of that treatment. Now, here's why this is important. When you are doing observational study, you try to find the relationship of two variables. Because you're just observing, you can only claim that those two things are associated and not that one thing caused the other. So, observational study can only claim association, not causation. But if you do an experiment, you randomly assign people, so there's a mix of people and in two different groups. And if you find that when you apply your treatment to one group, there's a difference versus the other group without the treatment, you can claim that your treatment can cause that. So, design experiment can claim causation. This is really, really important. When you are doing observational study, you can't claim that one thing caused another. You have to have an experiment to do that. One of the main reasons is something called a lurking variable. So, lurking variable is one that affects both variables you're interested in. The one that you think might be the cause, and then the one you think might be the result. But sometimes there's a lurking variable that either you don't know about or maybe you're not acknowledging that affects both of them that's actually the cause there. Let's have an example. In a research project looking at a group of students in Math 127, English 101, and college algebra. There are currently 10 students enrolled. If the students show good success, can I claim it because of the interventions I am doing? And what variable might also cause this success? So, thinking about that, I have some interventions in place with this group of students that are taking all these classes together, and there are 10 students in the class. The issue with me claiming any significant results is that I only have 10 students. Maybe the small class size is affecting it, and that's why they are doing so well. So that's a lurking variable that I can't really control because I didn't do an experiment and actually try to do another group of students that's maybe of the same classes and not do an intervention and also only have 10 students. So it's hard for me to determine that any interventions that we did or any special projects that those were the cause of that difference. Now let's talk about types of observational studies. First is cross-sectional study. It involves collecting data about individuals at a certain point in time. So this is basically a survey. This is where you collect data just at a certain point in time. The next one is case control studies. So these are frequently used in the medical community to compare individuals with a particular characteristics. This group is the case, and then the individuals who do not have that characteristic is the control. So this can still be a survey, but one particular characteristic is that it is retrospective, meaning they require individuals to look back in time or look at existing records. For example, we might compare individuals who smoke with those who do not. We can ask these individuals how much they smoke over the 25 years, and then we can compare them the rate or we can compare the rate of cancer between those two groups. The third one is the cohort. So in cohort studies, it describes a group of individuals. And so a cohort study is one in which a group of individuals is selected to participate in the study. So in this study, people are tracked over a period of time. So you start with volunteers, then they are tracked over time, and then you might look at the ones within that group that did what you were interested in, and then the ones did not. So to summarize this section, observational studies versus design experiments, some of the key points that we talked about is that only design experiments can claim causation. This is very important. The reason is because of the lurking variables that can affect both variables that are in the interest that we are interested in. And then we have observational studies. The types of observational studies: cross sectional, case control, and cohort. So that's it for this section. Thanks for watching, and make sure to familiarize yourself with the whole presentation to see more examples and my notes on them. My next video is about random sampling. See you then.